Hello, everyone, and welcome to Arcadia, the infamous desert map. What do you think of this map?
I fucking hate this map with every fiber of my being. FE6 is a game that I really enjoy. This map has made me quit playthroughs partway through before. Like, I have many playthroughs where I get to Arcadia and I go, I'll play that next time.
I really just don't want to play
then
this right now.
2 weeks later, I haven't played. Because the thing is, it's not just that this map is awful. Because this map is awful. I don't care what the Arcadia Defense Force says, this map is awful. But it's not just that this map is awful, it's that this map is awful, and then what you have as your reward for clearing the awful map is a different awful map.
It's wonderful.
Like, the water tiles map can get fucked. The water tiles map is so bad. I honestly don't know whether I would consider this map or the water tiles map to be worse. This map takes a lot of features that I already kind of dislike in a vacuum and mixes them together, and they end up being worse. It has Fog of War with enemies who move farther than your units. It has the desert, and the desert is... You do have 3 flyers at this point, but for everyone who's not the flyer, including the 2 units who start, like, who you get on this map, as well as Roy, who you have to get him to an objective, right?
Yes.
It's gonna slow all of them down as well. I guess it doesn't slow your mages down.
Which, speaking of mages,
we got a new one. We got a new one.
I can't wait to use her to replace the unit that died.
I can't wait for you to field her in every single map, hoping that she gets rolled, and it never happens.
That'll probably happen. Quick tutorial for everyone out there. Because desert items are so frustrating, I really don't feel like rolling the dice to get all the desert items. So I'm going to show off a little trick that we in the community like to call making this map bearable. So if you get everything ready to go, if you do a soft reset, resume the chapter, check a stat screen, exit, and then wait on a spot where a treasure is, you'll pick it up automatically.
I'm not a different trick for making this map bearable.
Not play it.
It involves going into FE Builder and editing it such that Roy starts on the throne and Sophia starts on the guiding ring location, and 2 of your thieves start next to the warp staff and the silver card.
And then your 3rd one stands on the boots.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's my trick for that's my little tutorial for the Fire Emblem community. Is use FE Builder to alter this map.
Just make it more fun.
Also, so we were talking about this in preps because we tested if Rutger could kill them with, like, it was just a Worm Slayer, right? It wasn't even Durandal.
Because no one in my army can use Durandal.
Spoilers, he couldn't, because 2023 is the year that we finally admit Rutger is bad.
Look at this guy, though. Clean one-shot on a Wyvern Lord.
So that was the thing, is, like, I asked if Gonzo could use S-rank axes, because I forgot that you can't S-rank until you are in a promoted class. And Jacob was like, oh no, but Locke can't. And I was like, well, that doesn't super help us, because, like, Locke can already delete them with the bows. But I guess the more important part was the Wyvern, right?
Yeah, the big one was the Manakete I wanted to get rid of.
Or not the Wyvern, yeah, the Manakete.
Now that the Manakete's
I'm glad
gone,
you not knew what I meant, because
I knew what
I
you meant.
said did not actually make any sense, because you still Wyvern the bows. I mean, you still bow the fuck. You know, you still do the thing with the stuff.
You still hurt. You still throw the thing at the enemies to do the damage.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Time to march forward with all of that movement that we have in the sand.
So yeah, I guess I should elaborate on why I don't like this map, because it's not just that it's a desert map. There are actually a few desert maps that I like. I think the key to a good desert map is not for the entire, not the entire map to be desert, right?
Yeah.
And this map actually accomplishes that. Asterisks. No, it fucking doesn't. Your units all start surrounded by the desert, and so the fact that the fact that like the one area at the end is all grass. I guess not even grass, it's like pavement, right?
Yeah, it's like sand and road.
Alleviate the problem. In comparison, if you look at a map like the Sacred Stones Desert, if you go Ephraim route, all of your units start out. I forgot about the desert item trick, and so I got terrified that you had made a mistake and we were losing this entire recording. If you go Ephraim route, your units all start out on the grasslands, right? So you can have the cabs do stuff without needing to trudge through the sand. If you go Erica route, it is a little bit rougher, but you can head over to the left, and some amount of that is not sand, I believe, and you can pretty quickly get into an area where your calves can do stuff.
It's really just the big middle
and your
part
foot
that's all
units can do
sand.
stuff. And I like that approach because it means that you're like the point of desert, I think theoretically, is to punish mounted units because mounted units are usually an advantage. And I think that if you're going to do it that way, at least having the desert be in the middle so that like mounted units can't cut through, but like flying units or infantry units could like potentially do it. That's the other thing, is that like it punishes mounted units, but it also punishes infantry, which I don't care for. In comparison, Berwick Saga, which I'm currently in the middle of a playthrough of, has an awful desert chapter that I failed to not make awful because I didn't realize that infantry don't take desert penalties.
Really?
And so either that or they take such unsevere desert penalties that because I was like, wow, this one unit, like, for some reason, is not getting penalized as much as everyone else, and didn't make the connection that, like, everyone else were dismounted calves. And they were still taking the penalties even while they were dismounted. Oh, hey, that was by accident, too. That wasn't even using the trick.
I didn't even do a trick to get that one.
Because you can't do the trick if you do an action other than wait.
Yes.
Did you explain the mechanics of the trick, or do you want me to, or...?
I'm not super familiar with the mechanic, other than I think it resets an RN seed or something.
Yes, so there's a secondary RN. The secondary RN is rolled whenever you go to a desert item, or when it pulls up a portrait that is capable of blinking.
I didn't know about the blinking thing. That's really funny.
Well, so that's what goes on with you pulling up the item
the RN
menu.
to move.
Because it pulls
Hey, Ray,
up
can you hit some of these
portraits, and I'm fairly certain that in vanilla the portraits don't blink, right? Do the portraits blink?
I do believe they do. Oh, it's just that the do they?
I know I've played so many ROM hacks recently that it's corrupted my brain. But it rolls to see what portion they start on. I got so confused by that staff animation because I thought it just got even darker from the Sandstorm.
Unit.
This seems like a unit we should train. Surely there will be a payoff to this.
Absolutely. There has to be a reason why she's this bad.
Oh my god. The Est scam is so funny. Surely there's a payoff to train this terrible unit. It can't possibly all be for nothing. Surely there's a reason. Spoilers, there is not in the case of Sophia.
There is
and in
not.
most like I still think Ests would be like quote unquote low tier characters if there was a payoff, right? But
because you still have to put in the time to train one.
In most cases there isn't a payoff is the thing. Like not only you have to put in the time, but they show up so late too.
Yeah.
Like they're late, they're often resource hungry. Like, people talk about how, like, oh, you can use Nino, you can feed Nino all the experience from the Wyverns, and no one else really wants that, and that's true to an extent. But then what is failed to be mentioned is, like, she has to use Excalibur to kill them, and, like, I don't know, Excalibur's a good tome that maybe Pent wants to use.
Air Caliber's not actually in
that
FE7.
unit. What is it then that you're supposed to use?
I don't know. I never feed wyverns to Nino. I train her in Night or Farewells. I just have people choke on the bridges. Okay, so we need
No,
to
but
get
I thought
this-
you were supposed to. I thought that was like the copium that people said. It's like you feed Nino the wyverns with Air Caliber or some shit. Like it's so easy to feed her the wyverns.
I'm not sure.
Wouldn't Night of Farewells be the one that has the wyverns?
Because I'm not sure what wyverns we're feeding to her. I guess there's wyverns in Night of
I think
Farewells.
there's wyverns in Night of Farewells, and I think that's the idea. Is that like you're feeding her those wyverns?
I guess because they have bad res.
So there's no Air Caliber?
Yeah, there's.
I swear I've heard multiple people say, and I'm not familiar with FE7, so I was just like, okay, that sounds like the sort of thing people would find enjoyable that I don't think would be very useful.
Because that's something I kind of find frustrating is that FE7 doesn't have Air Caliber. Because I love Air Caliber.
Maybe they meant Forsetti. Forsetti's in FE7, right? You get it from Archer? In the
Just
Murdoch village?
Just inherit.
It's like a Samson and
Forsetti.
Aaron situation. You either get Forsetti or you get the rescue staff for Murdoch.
Oh wait, recover
That's
stuff.
that's our Aaron and Samson. Forget Corel Harkin.
Oh no.
Oh damn, they identified the real threat. They targeted down Sophia.
This is the biggest utility Sophia has outside of grabbing the guiding ring. She eats a sleep staff use.
How much do you think Sophia's utility would actually move up if we gave her credit for the guiding ring? Because I, at least right now, like, I don't give her credit for the guiding ring.
Yeah, it has a similar thing to, like, starting inventory almost.
Yeah. It would be one thing if it was like...
1, 2, 3.
I know you're not super familiar with Awakening.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the side objective of Olivia's Kids Paralogue? It's not Laszlo. It's like, but it's a different name for Laszlo. Like, it is Laszlo.
I think you
know what I
mentioned
mean?
it in SOV. You mentioned that he has to kill a certain amount of enemies or something.
Yeah, so for each kill that he gets, you get rewards, and I think one of them is a stat booster. And, like, if you wanted to ultimate copium and pretend that he's not just like every other unit in Awakening, because the cast is very samey, you could be like, well, he gets credit for those items. And I wouldn't necessarily agree, but I also wouldn't disagree on the grounds that you do actually have to use him. Whereas here, you just have to move Sophia towards the objective.
She's just walking.
And it's not even like it's not even like Fifi's ability, right? Because she's not going off on her own mission. She is following the rest of your army, and if she doesn't go there, she dies.
Yeah.
Like, if you leave Sophia behind, the bandits kill her.
Yes.
So it kind
that's a
of
good
just
level.
becomes like, that is a very good level up.
Also,
So when are we promoting Gonzo?
There's some kind of concert going on outside my apartment, so I really hope no noise gets picked up or anything.
I can't hear it. But that might be Discord, like, muting
Filtering
things,
it.
because Discord's pretty good about filtering stuff. Although Discord is not great at picking up my voice, I've listened to videos that I've been the guest on, side by side with videos recorded around the same time that I've been the host on, and I sound a lot worse as a guest. So
Interesting.
hopefully I don't sound terrible here, but maybe I do. Are we going to restore Saf Sophia, or are we leaving her for the wolves?
Restore with who?
Cecilia.
She's sleepy. Cecilia,
Okay,
just
genuine question. How are we getting them to safety?
I'll just pick them up with like Shanna and Tate. Just rescue them forwards.
Oh, do you want to comment on our lack of a third flyer?
Oh yeah. While doing preps for this map, I suddenly came to the realization that fielding Milady meant that there's a chance I don't get Zeus, and I really want Zeus, so we're not fielding Milady.
Yeah, and not only because we're trying to avoid 2-for-1s at all costs, like the thing with Chad versus Ray, right?
Yeah.
But also because, like, I'm
Ooh.
sorry, Z's haters, I won't pretend he's bad. He's very good.
Oh, I like Zeus. I kind of had a running.
He's very good.
I think Kath is gonna get slept this turn, so I might as well go ahead and use a torch on her.
That way she can keep watch while she's asleep.
Yes. I think I put her in the bottom slot for that reason, so I could use a torch and then. Oh my gosh, Tate.
Well, but you can't use Kath for the desert items now.
Sad.
The reason we brought Kath was Vision.
Just for Vision.
And also, like, she's a potential wheel target that we don't care about.
Yeah. We only really want a thief for. Gosh, these healers are actually really annoying. We want one for 16 to steal the Delphi shield. Other than that, we're not super. Why are you sleeping, Gonzo?
We could steal the Knight's Crest from Murdoch. We could steal the Knight's Crest from Murdoch.
Oh, that'd be so useful.
That way, both Wendy and Barth could get promoted. Because otherwise, we have to choose which one
Danny,
we promote.
Danny, you have to let her go. Wendy died back in chapter 10.
Wait, no, I forgot. I forgot. I actually forgot. I guess that shows how fucking memorable Trek is, because earlier you said I only have 2 Knight's Crest users, and I was like, oh yeah, Wendy exists, I forgot about her.
The accident was 5 maps ago. You need to let it go.
That's the funny part, is like, because I made the joke about the Night Crest thinking Barth was our only Night Crest user, and then you were like, you made the comment about having 2 Night Crest users when I made that joke off camera. And I was like, oh, that's right, I forgot about Wendy. I'll have to remember that she exists when I repeat that joke on camera. Little do I know, the person I was actually forgetting about was the most fucking forgettable Cavalier in the series.
Good old Trek.
Anyone who says that Kent and Sane are the worst Cavaliers in the series hasn't played FE6.
Trek is
Actually,
such
there's
a...
the Thracia Cavs. You could say the Thracia Cavs are
Kane and
worse. You
Alba
could say
are pretty
Alfred are
good.
worse. Yeah. Who do you think are the worst? That's actually now a good question. Who do you think are the worst Cavaliers in the series?
Worst Cavs.
I think it might be Kane and Alba. Because, like, theoretically all 3 Thracia Cavs could, like, tie for that title, but at least the one of them shows up, like, on a training map.
Yeah, because I don't know if I could give it to... I don't know if I can give it to Carrion, but...
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of, Carrion. Like, shows up on the training map.
Yeah. He can also use... It's weird. Why did Kaga put, like, Cavaliers and Sword Cavs and Lance Cavs all in the same game? Oh, because it means that... what's his name? Carrion is just kind of a better Cavalier, almost.
Yeah, because he can use the Paragons. Like, if you're gonna do training project with any of them,
yeah, he can use Paragon
probably
Sword
do
for
it with him because he can use the Paragon Sword while he's mounted. And, like, this is not me saying, because I know that some people say, like, oh, well, Carrion uses the Paragon Sword because he gets in an event. But, like, it's not his PRF.
It's like a D-rank sword. It's really good.
Yeah, like, you can, and it's not just useful for the Paragon either. Doesn't it give you, like, +3 defense or something?
Yeah, it gives you a couple points of defense.
And, like, with that in mind, you could just give it to, like, I don't know, fucking, Fergus or something.
Yeah, you can give it to anyone
Like, that
at that
seems
point.
pretty good. Like, that Fergus seems like could make good use of it because
Fergus
he's one of the
good.
better combat units, IMO.
I can agree with that.
Oh my god, speaking of better combat units, Shanna, no. I guess it is a 50. I need to start actually using Hero in GBA instead of just assuming every attack will always hit. It's a problem that I keep running into.
I find myself doing the same thing sometimes, where for some reason I just assume it's gonna hit, and then I go, wait.
Did that really just happen to us?
Exact.
That's so tragic.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to Arcadia.
We're not that far in, I guess. Oh well, I'll be back in a sec or something. Okay, we have made it back to about where I was. I was a lot further into this map than I thought I actually was. Kind of in a similar scenario, other than I already can't remember who he dropped to bring Saul, because Danny reminded
Kath.
me. Oh, right, Kath. Because Danny reminded me in her comment of, wow, who do we have restore on? That I actually have a restore staff.
Yeah.
I was gonna try to play it cool.
And then the argument is that, like, you drop Kath for him. Kath's whole purpose was, like, vision when she gets slept. Just give the torch to Sophia, and then she can, basically, like, she won't have as much vision as Kath would, obviously. Maybe not obviously. I think obviously.
It's still more
enough,
utility
though.
than her just standing there doing nothing all map.
Yes. Especially because, like, she can be the lightning rod, and you can just restore with Saul a bunch.
Yes.
It does suck a little bit that we are potentially risking a warper. Doesn't suck that we just got strength and speed and boots.
Oh, hey, there's the boots.
Klein
going crazy.
Klein going nutsos.
This unit's fun.
We love to see it, though. We love to see it. Are there any Klein heads in the house? I love Klein.
So this is the third time she's been slept. Well, we can buy
that
restore.
Means it broke, right?
I can buy restore, I guess, just so I can move her forwards.
Well, you can move her forwards with, like, rescue drops, right? Or
That's
I guess
true.
We want her to wake up to get the guiding ring, though, because she needs to wait for the guiding ring.
So
I might as well.
I almost just want to fly someone down here to go get this, but I know there's a bunch of wyverns all down here, and I kind of want to try to do
a Manakete.
Yes, there's a Manakete around here-ish. Maybe he's down
Would you like me to pull up the map?
Absolutely.
I don't know how well I can actually describe it to you, but I can at least have it, and, like...
If you want to just send it to me, I can just look at it.
Warn you? Oh, that works too, yeah. I thought you only had one monitor on your computer. I typically, when I'm doing stuff like this, I have, like, because I have two monitors, I have, like, the map in one monitor, the game in the other, so I can, like, just glance at it.
I have, like, 1.5 monitors if you count my phone, because that's what I'm looking at the map for the desert right now. I just have the map pulled up on my phone. Yeah,
so I can send you the desert enemies map.
I would appreciate that.
I'll just send it to you over Discord.
What's 14x3? Too much? I think that's 42.
14 times 3
is 42.
Is 30, 42, yes. So that's a lot. What were we checking 14x3 for? Oh, that he's
to see if Tate lived a hit from this guy.
Just give her the Hoplon guard that is definitely in this game.
Definitely. She lives from full HP, but that means absolutely everything around her has to be dead. Which...
Yeah. And I don't know that we can guarantee that.
I don't think so. So I think instead, we're gonna poke this guy.
Poke. Poke, 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 you're dead.
Also, every enemy getting 5 avoid because of desert tiles is also really fun.
Yeah. I feel like they need to pick either lower your movement or lower your hit. Don't do both. I mean, I would rather you just don't do either.
Yeah.
TH, but definitely don't do both. Doing both is, like, pretty horrid. Again,
stay out of reach of the hero.
This is just not a map that I enjoy. We are finally to the part where you, like, get some sweet relief from being stuck in the desert.
Walking in the sand.
Even if you, like, kill or deal with the wyverns, right? Who are, like, the biggest threat because they can outrange you and be... Since they move with 2-turn AI, they can be, like, anywhere in the fog and you have no idea, right?
Yeah, they just show up out of nowhere. Which, speaking of...
But even once you take care of them, you're kind of just at the mercy of, like, okay, move 2 tiles. Okay, move 2 tiles. Like, it's like the Hector hallway map again. The Chapter 8.
Chapter 8.
Where you're invading Hector's castle. Well, you're retaking it, I guess.
Oh,
and
yes.
There often end up being, because of the way that enemy movement works,
you just kind of end up squished.
Yeah, you usually just get a bunch of, at least in my experience, you just get a bunch of turns where you're not actually doing anything. Like, you're just moving everyone, and there's no enemies around, and you can kind of that map. It's at least like a little bit more forgivable because you can kind of do like interesting stuff with rescue drops, which can be a rewarding way to play. TBH.
It can be fun to try to figure out rescue drop stuff.
Yeah.
How do you do versus this hero? Oh, you die.
Not
you die.
great.
No one in my
army.
no one in my army does like anything against this hero.
No hit rate. Well, we can just triangle attack with Milady, Tate, and oh, you didn't deploy Milady.
If only. Society if.
Society if Milady could participate in the triangle attack. I feel like even for FE7, that would be a bit too much of the we made this unit unbalanced moment. FE7 is the we made this unit unbalanced game, but that would, I feel like be a whole other level.
Okay, idea. No, that doesn't kill. That does, but you die. Okay, idea. We do this.
No. Oh my god. That's not fair. He had a lower hit rate. If yours missed, he's supposed to miss. No, I know that's not how that works. I don't care, though.
Ogma, the odds were in your favor.
He's... wait. That's a Han Solo reference. He said never tell me the odds, and he missed as a result.
What's the hit?
Or she, rather.
69.
You said Ogma, and it confused me. It was not Ogma, it was Shanna. Or no, it was Tate, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tate's the one that got hit. Okay.
Okay.
This is yucky.
Yeah, I was going to... Because I thought of something that I wanted to talk about, unrelated to what's going on. But I feel like we need to focus on, like, what's going on screen, because we're in a tense moment. And I don't want to distract from that.
And the worst part is it's a tense moment I can't really do anything about, because nobody has any move! So instead, what we're going to do...
Binding Blade. It's a very Binding Blade moment.
So instead, we're just going to pick you up. Oh, you can still reach, that's
and
right.
The hero... Yeah, he can. Okay, you're going to have to take drop.
Oh, wait.
Because otherwise...
Gonzo can eat a
way
crit from
down
this guy.
moment.
24, 14 three
Give him
times.
the Devil Axe so that there's still a chance of death.
Oh, but then I can't drop him somewhere important. At least, I can block like this. I am assuming.
And then you can have Cecilia do a take drop.
Yeah. So that's 24 because I'm 14. 14x3.
This is so scary. Killer weapons this late into the map.
On one of
on
the
a map
most.
where you can't do movement stuff. And again, need I remind you, Fog of War.
Yes.
Like I am a defender of killer weapons on enemies, even moving enemies. If the game gives you tools to deal with them, and sometimes that tool is like tricking enemies into moving in such a way that you can like, you know, fuck them up, right?
Yes.
You don't have movement on this map, so
No.
you don't have the tool. Like, movement is a tool for dealing with one-range crit weapons, right? Because you, like, you hit him from a range and then you rescue and canto out, right? You don't really, like, you kind of have that option because you've got flyers, but you don't really have that option.
I swear if she also gets hit and crit by this hero, I'm going to lose it.
But what's even worse is that because you don't have...
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Oh, Jesus. Because they're also in the Fog of War, they can just ambush you, and you didn't know, like, you weren't playing around the critical hit.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know it existed.
Heroes are terrifying in this game.
Oh yeah, no, very much so.
I'm always reminded of how scary heroes are in this game.
You know, it's funny. I feel like heroes are a class that, like, they're very all or nothing class. They're either incredibly terrifying or the biggest babies in the world. And Alibian heroes, fuck.
They're so strong.
Because, like, I don't actually remember if FE7 enemy heroes are scary, but I know that the 2-player heroes are, like, some of the best infantry units in the game. Like, Raven and Harkin.
FE7 heroes are some of, like, the very few scary enemies in Hector Hard mode. Because you're dealing with all these really slow enemies that don't do anything, and then suddenly you get hit by a hero who can double you.
Because they actually have con on, like, Pegasus Knights, and they have a speed stat on, like, every other enemy that's not a Pegasus Knight.
Okay, I hate that I'm not moving forwards right now. Because I have to
And even
bait out this hero.
even on the player side, in FE6, like, because obviously Rutger, or not Rutger,
Deike.
Raven and Harkin are, like, incredibly good in FE7, right? But even on the player side in 6, like, I tend to think that Ogier, like, is not a good long-term investment, but he's incredibly good early on. Like, he sort of gets overshadowed by the fact that Rutger shows up so soon afterwards. But, like,
I guess you also exist. That's right.
oh, he broke his staff, so he's aggressive now, too.
I forgot that this guy existed. I was too busy thinking about the hero.
If you can knock the... I don't think you can. I was gonna say if you can knock the hero into heal AI, but no. You are gonna get teamed up on now, and I don't think anyone can hit both, like, take both, right?
Assuming the hero doesn't crit. If the hero crits...
Does he have lightning or aura?
It's lightning.
Okay. Well, because aura... The problem would be aura has crit on it. Which is why it's better that it's lightning.
Well, I don't think aura is in FE6. Because there's only light...
I swear to God.
Because I believe it's...
No, there's something. If it's not aura, there's a bishop who has crit in one of the Western Isles maps.
Oh,
they're already here. Fuck.
Yeah, it's terrifying. Okay.
Does he not? Is it not because of aura? Is it just like he has high skill or some shit?
He has a divine, and I think divine has crit on it, maybe.
Maybe divine is what I'm thinking of.
I think divine has crit built into it. Because I know
there is a light tome that has crit. Because I know I remember thinking, like, it'd be so cool if there were monks in FE6 because the crit bonus, right? Like, wouldn't that be cool? I guess there's no crit bonus for them anyway, but I don't know. I just like crits. I like crits.
Crits
okay?
are fun. Okay, I gotta kill this guy like this turn. When are you gonna stop being sleepy? Right now?
Look, she's been working really hard. She's been working really hard to give you the most underwhelming stat spread possible.
Yep.
So
I think I have to play really offensively and just get this hero out of here this turn.
Her.
I think the hero dies this turn or we reset.
What turn number is it, also?
That's a good question. We're on 8.
Because the other thing is that our turn limit for the gaiden... Wait, where is it? Oh, I can't tell. Because it's when the Sandstorm ends.
Yeah. I want to say it's
25. So actually, yeah, 25. So actually we have a long time. Normally there's reinforcements tied to it, so I can tell by looking at the latest wave of reinforcements. But because it's tied to the Sandstorm and not reinforcements, I was like, 18 doesn't sound correct, because that's not a significant enough thing. So yeah, we do actually have the time to, like, take this map relatively slowly, with the exception of the fact that this fucking hero exists.
Just throw everything at the hero and hope he dies.
On the bright side, if the hero does not die, that monk will heal him, or the bishop will heal him.
Yeah. Oh gosh, you do so little damage to him.
Can Echidna finish him off?
I was hoping...
Oh, Shanna can.
Take can finish. I was hoping to see if there was a way I could finish it 2 range, so just in case I missed, but eh. Okay, now we get the critical.
Nope, she's showing off she's showing off what killer weapons are supposed to do.
Exactly.
Because he has failed to do it with them. She's like,
oh my gosh, strength and speed, let's go. Okay, you get out of my way, because
Also, I apologize to anyone who is upset that I keep mixing up Tate and Shanna. It's not on purpose. I will continue doing it.
I know who you're talking about usually, and at the end of the day, that's what really matters. Okay.
Okay.
We are making... That's not what I wanted to do. Whoopsie daisies.
Was there someone to heal over there?
I was seeing if there was someone to heal, so I clicked on the staff because I saw there was a staff available.
You just double mashed, yeah.
I got a little trigger happy
Thanks.
that I saw that there was a staff option.
Understandable.
Okay. So even if I need to, I can just pick up Sophia next turn and just
Yeah.
carry her
Well,
over
isn't
this.
she gonna wake up next turn as well?
She wakes up next turn, but I can just pick her
Yeah.
up and carry her over the cliff this turn or next turn.
In before the berserkers somehow are able to cross the desert and kill her.
Rewarp movement stars.
Movement stars are certainly one of the mechanics of all time.
Movement stars are a mechanic I love dearly and have so much fun with, and I kind of hope they don't come back. They were a really fun
Movement stars have
one-time thing.
I was looking through like the various skills in the skill system, and movement stars have been implemented. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
A skill has been implemented in skill system that is a percentage. It is movement stars, but under like a skill instead of
Yeah,
stars.
I think it's remove luck percent chance you get another turn.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop. Yo. Flyers are good.
Which is really cool, but also like I don't know. Movement stars are certainly a thing that exists. And
Yep. They're a really silly mechanic, but like other chance-based stuff, you can't plan around it. So,
Yeah.
usually if you get a move star, you rarely have something to do with it. Unless you're in a really tense situation, but sometimes you're like, oh, I got a move star. I guess I'll just wait again.
Yeah, it's kind of like if there were no tools for stacking like crits or whatever, it can sometimes come in handy, right?
It
'Cause,
can.
like, it's nice to be like on the same way that you can be like, hey, I can like go for a 30% crit, and if I crit, I free up someone else's action.
Yes.
You can be like, okay, this person has a 20% chance to movement star. I've got like they're gonna work together. Like let's say promoted Tina was going to team up to kill someone, and she procs her movement star, and you're like, oh well, now she can just land both hits, right?
Yeah, now you have a second turn to work with.
Yeah, now and then like say promoted Safi was going to be the second one to finish off. Then promoted Safi can kill a different enemy.
Like how you
These
pick-
are people who should be doing combat, by the way.
So you pick the two people who are not usually doing combat.
I think we're playing Thracia very differently, Jacob. You don't train Tina to 2020 so that she can one-shot the final boss.
I respect it.
I haven't actually ever done combat with either of those units. Although, if you want to see something fucking wacky, Lola Satonia did an LTC Iron Man of Thracia, and one of the strategies, the Chapter 3 clear, involved Safi dodging like 8 million javelins so that she could get to level 10 on time to promote for an early warp skid.
That's very funny.
And everyone talks about how like, oh, Leaf seems like he has a bunch of supports, but in reality, some of his supports are not useful for combat because it's like people like Safi who never do combat. She kept having to position Leaf to give Safi support because as an Iron Man LTC, all of the clears have to have a less than 0.1% chance of failure. And Leaf's support is what pushed her dodging enough javelins to not die over the threshold. It's very wacky and funny. Highly recommend you check it out if you're like a Thracia person. Even if you don't like LTCs normally, like there's so many cool strategies in that that take advantage of all the weirdness of Thracia that like
I wouldn't even say it's like for people who like LTCs. I'd say it's for people who like Thracia. Because it's so cool.
I do like Thracia. Thracia is pretty cool.
That is my plug. That is my plug.
The sand being in front of the stat screen, it hurts my eyes. Go away.
I have been searching for the holy grail of the way to turn off the sand. Actually, fuck. You could probably do it in FE Builder. Edit the map.
Probably. I'm sure there's a setting somewhere for it.
Hold on. I'm gonna open an FE7 ROM while we're... Because the scary part's over.
Yeah, we're kind of just slowly...
Well,
the only other scary part is...
another mannequin we need to worry about.
The other scary part is the warp staff heist. Flying...
Yeah.
I might
That's the
wait
mannequin I was referring to, yeah.
and go get the warp staff and then seize the next turn or something.
Okay, so if I pull up an FE6 half,
Shanna.
or not half, game.
I feel like I've missed a lot of 70 pluses in this map. There's another hero in here, isn't there? There is.
Yep. So the scary part's not quite over. Also, that was a lot of time thinking. There's a lot of people who are moving in the fog right
I think
there.
it's all of these enemies that's moving right now.
Yeah. Did you get the silver card already?
Yes.
I remember you getting it, but I don't remember if it was on this attempt or not.
I got
Okay,
it again, so all that's really left is the warp staff, and I think I'm just gonna like fly, rig, get it, seize.
It's one of those things where like, so for anyone not watching, this is our third attempt actually, spoilers.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like, because I've seen you do it, but you might not have actually done it, it's like, yeah.
Gosh, what is my counter to these mercenaries?
Well, do you have a really high defense lance-wielding unit? Perhaps one who is weak to hammers because there is a hammer around here, so they know that they're the perfect counter to these mercenaries. Yeah.
There's also an armor slayer right here.
That's what I was referring to, the armor slayer.
At least, like, the hammer dude down here, like, Boars is still standing right here, so you hammer him. The armor slayer dude is all the way up here, assuming you've walked Boars all the way up to the top part of this map.
He's not there for Boars, he's there for when you rescue drop Wendy with Shanna.
True.
So what I was going to say earlier during the tense moment is I was thinking about this over the course of this past week, because Boris died last week. Walt is now the only survivor from Chapter 1.
Yes.
Roy doesn't count because Roy is functionally dead. He's dead inside, okay?
Oh, wow.
He's seen too many people die at this point.
I forgot to move my supports then. Oops.
So, like...
How do you do? It's so yucky.
He's our boy right now. He's our last boy.
He's the one who lived.
Oh god. Oh god.
That was kind of more like a whatever.
So we've been, and maybe by voicing this we will curse it, but we've been like really hoping for a while that Walt would end up as like the one who makes it to endgame, right?
I hope he makes it so long. I'm gonna field him every chance that I have, but I really hope he makes it. It's like a really late map.
Can we say this right now? I know people get upset when you don't go for the good ending. If Walt's alive in endgame, can we kill Idun with him?
Definitely.
I don't care. Roy kills Idun for free. It's the most boring gameplay thing ever. I think the good ending is very cute. I wish that you could get the good ending without having to have Roy land the final hit. I think that is much like having to have Ike kill both of the bosses in his games. I think Roy having to land the final hit is dumb because one of the reasons I like using bad units, because I love using bad units, is so that you can pull off like cheese kills on the final boss, like using Wendy to set up a triangle attack on Idun, or having Athos. I had Athos suicide in order to allow Capt. Lynn to kill the fire dragon.
Base.
One time. or it's fun to kill the I had C-Doll. I had reclassed C-Doll deal the last 1 point of damage to Sombron
Now
in
that's
my first
good.
maddening mode. Oh no, he wasn't even reclassed. It was literally just I was like, ooh, I could kill with Veil. However, I see a couple of other units who aren't taking an action this turn. I could also bring Sombron down to 1 HP and then have C-Doll land the final kill with shielding art or whatever. And I opted for that.
I forgot to trade the
I-
Killer Lance off of Shanna. Don't crit. Oh wait, he lives in crit.
Oh god.
Don't double this guy. She doesn't. Okay, sick.
Wait, how can you tell? Oh right, because I'm a little behind you.
Well, there's a little bit of lag whenever someone doubles. Like, well, I can't show it now, but whenever you double, there's a little bit extra hesitation before they finish up their attack command. It's like
Is
an extra
that
second
what
long or
that
something.
is? I've seen that. I thought it was an emulator issue. I was like, my Nintendo PC is actually quite strong.
No, like if you ever see a moment where
Moment.
like they kind of stop for a sec and then move, it's weird. I've played GBA FE so much my whole life, I've just kind of figured out where it is, but it's I'll have to see if I can find an enemy I double so I can kind of show it off.